Listen, you ready to learn a little bit more about creative financing? You was already there when we talked about subject 2. Now you ready to go to the next level? Who am I? I'm Kareem Lewis, your veteran wealth builder, aka Sergeant Sales. And I'm back again, creative financing series. We're going to talk about today rent to own, lease purchase, all that good stuff. So listen, go ahead and follow, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. Help me, help you, help us. Let's get into it. So now, lease, purchase, rent to own. What is it? How it goes? What's the truth behind it? You probably seen a lot. Rent to own, lease purchase option, all this stuff. And you like, man, what does it really mean? And if you've been seeing some of my videos, you've been seeing how I got some posted right now. I got a home right now in Katy that's open to a lease, a purchase situation for qualified people, right? So just hit me up about that, 346-589-8925. All you got to do is look at my pinned videos. You'll see it. If you like it, up there in Katy, the Grand Sunterra area, hit me up. Right? So now let's go ahead into it. Lease purchase, rent to own. What is it? How it works? Tell me the whole spiel, Sergeant Sales. So listen, let's go into it. So if you got your, we're ready to take your notes and all that good stuff, let's dive in. So rent to own. What is rent to own? What is lease purchase? It's kind of the same thing. It's just a different flow to it. Right? So now rent to own, lease purchase options, all that stuff, right? It's always a lease. I want to say that to everybody. I know some people see it and they think, oh, it's home ownership. It's the path to home ownership, but it's not ownership. You're still only leasing the property, right? And so you're going to make a lease. It all starts with a lease. Right? Let's just say you lease for 3 years, right? I have my normal lease, say I'm paying $2,000 for a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home, right? Now, if I'm doing rent to own, the owner, what they'll do is say, you know what? I'm looking to sell this house, right? I'm going to charge you a little higher rent. And usually you're going to pay a little bit more in rent. But what they're going to do is they're going to use that and say, all right, I'm going to take 10%, 20% of your rent and I'm going to apply it to the home purchase. So they'll set a price and say, listen, you're going to rent for me for about 3, 4 years, 5 years. We're going to take about $200 from this $2,000 that you're paying. We're going to apply it to the purchase price. And then, let's say we're going to set that for 400. And if you buy it, it'll be 400 grand minus, how much the 200s, how many payments you made before you purchase it. And that's it, right? And for the renter, it's good because it's like, in some cases, you're building up equity where all your rent is not just going strictly to the owner. It's going to a purchase price for future. So it gives you time to clean up your credit, which I can help with. So if you need your credit fixed, you got some debt, you want to knock down some debt, maybe you got more than 10,000 unsecured debt, make sure you hit me up. We can fix you up with that. Text Fix My Credit to 346-589-8925. Okay, lease purchase option. That's another phrase that you see sometimes online, right? Lease purchase. And all that is, same concept. Remember, it all starts with a lease. So you're going to have to pay first month's rent. You're going to have to pay down your deposit. Now that option, okay, lease purchase option it's an additional fee that's non-refundable that's going to lock in a price. Right? So like, let's say again, a house is worth 400 grand a day. The owner says, listen, we're going to do a 3-year lease. I'm going to give you an option, right, to purchase this home for about 430. So now this gives you the time to fix your credit and lock in the price. Now, wins for you, it's a win for you, for the buyer, if let's say that same house in those 3 years, it jumps up in price and now that home is worth, say, 450 now. 475, 500 grand. Now you made off like a fat rat because now you got instant equity. Now, if it didn't really go up, you had the choice to still buy it, or maybe the owner will be willing for owner financing, something like that, subject to things like that, right? But, or if you move out, you'd be like, man, I don't like this house. Okay, you can. So it gives you freedom to say, I can purchase a home. I can get my credit right. I got a price locked in, but The bad side is if it doesn't appreciate for the value that you locked in, that could be a wash, or if you have to move away, you don't have that option. You lose it because it's non-refundable. Now you might say, what's the true difference then between the rent to own, the lease purchase option? The difference is with a lease purchase option, like I said, you have to pay a fee. That fee is usually going to come up to 3 to 10% of what the home is going to sell for. They're usually going to ask for like $4,000, $5,000. It's always negotiable. It's not really a set price, but it's an extra fee that's non-refundable. Whereas the rent to own, remember I told you, say if the normal rent is $2,000. Well, that $2,000, the owner is going to add on an extra like 200, 300, whatever, right? And say, okay, that's going to go towards your equity, the purchase price. So in a sense, you're paying it the same option fee that you would pay up front and then pay regular rent to own. You're actually paying that option fee spread out through the course of the lease. Both of them are non-refundable because if you move out, that's it. It was just one, I'm paying a lot of money up front and I hope that everything happens. Whereas the other one, I'm spreading out the money. So it's like it's a risk. When you think about it, I'm making payments. So if it seemed like the home price is not going up, I could always leave. And I paid a little bit extra, but that's all right. I didn't pay that full option fee up front that I'm out of. I'm just out of it by a percentage. So, but every situation is different. Every owner is different, or any investor that you work with, it'll be different. If you're an investor, you heard what I'm saying, and you're like, man, that's something that I could use in my arsenal to offload some homes. Because again, we know homes is hard to sell right now. So to offload them where you can at least still earn some money so you're not making the payments, hit me up. 346-589-8925. Text investor 346-589-8925. And again, if you are a buyer, you're looking to buy a home, your credit need to get fixed up. You might have a lot of debt. You try to get a mortgage. They told you, man, you got too much. Your debt to income ratio is too high. You need to drop that down. You need help? Hit me up. Text credit 346-589-8925. Listen, and this is for anywhere, not just Houston, not just Dallas, not just San Antonio, not just Texas, but guess what? In the entire 50 states. So in any major metropolitan area, we can probably get you squared away. So again, this is Kareem Lewis, your veteran wealth builder, signing